Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's check out the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack version of GoldenEye 007. Now this is the, this is a slightly filtered version of the, well, like all the Nintendo 64 games on the Switch Online expansion pack. This is closer to the emulation of the original game. If you want to play like a more enhanced version, then that's on the Xbox series of systems, so Xbox One and up. But since we're here, we'll check out the original and see what they've done with it. I think they've cleaned up the image a little bit with the upscaling, so it does look obviously cleaner. Though that's not hard to do because it was an awful blurry mess in the original game. There is online play for this game as well. If you want to use the the Switch Online play. I don't even know if I can get out of this now that I'm here. I didn't actually mean to select this stuff. I just forget the Z buttons. Sure is set to your ZR. Let's see. I was about to say, how do you exit from N64 game? The controls, it actually uses more buttons than some of the other emulated systems that they have on here. I mean, because that looks significantly, cleaned up compared to the original game. All right, I think it's just, I don't know. I'm just gonna mess around a little bit, really. All right. Secret Agent James Bond, Mission 1. Archangel's Part 1 Dam. Primary objectives: neutralize all alarms, bungee jump from platform. Yeah, I didn't think a lot of us ever thought that this would happen, where GoldenEye would be available again, considering, how many copyrights, music rights, likenesses of actors, many things that would prevent this game from coming to fruition. Oh, that's right. It's the 64 controls, so you got to fucking use the dual analog sticks, of course. This was made in the era well before such a thing. So this is the left stick. It moves your character forward and back. Also turns you left and right. If you want to strafe or if you want to look up, then it's the X button. We got our zoom as the R button. Looks like they've mapped the look up and look down with the right stick. You have your strafe with the right stick, so it's a bit different than what you would use in your modern shooter setup. Auto aim is on naturally. Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to change these controls. Except it's just gonna take some getting used to, I think. I mean, this old style game. I mean, things do look better. Had they left this in its original resolution with no touch-up at all, this is a bit of a blurry mess on the original system. Fantastic for its time, but very hard to look at for a modern audience. And the cool thing about this is that, you know, you can get higher difficulties actually change the way the game plays. You know, you have different objectives, additional objectives that you need to achieve that weren't requirements in the lower difficulties. It is kind of cool that the experience is a little bit different. It's not just, you know, amount of damage you can do or the enemies can do. A little more to it than that. I mean, we'll check the Xbox version tomorrow, but I did want to see how the original fared and how it would look. And like I said, it does look significantly better, obviously. The frame rate's obviously a lot more stable as well. Yeah, for a lot of Gen Xers, this is a very, very big deal to be able to play this game again. Especially if you were playing a lot of multiplayer. You know, this was a go-to game for a lot of people. I ended up, you know, enjoying like the Turok games more. Even something like Rage Wars, I think I ended up playing that much more than GoldenEye. But that doesn't mean GoldenEye was bad. It just means I just tended to like the Turok games more. But, you know, this came back. This came after the original Turok. It offered a lot of improvements on the, you know, the draw distance and the. You know, how they handled weapons and reloading. I mean, just a lot of innovative things which we can't take for granted now in console gaming. And it's set up flight sim style, so down is up and up is down. I think that might be the hardest thing for people to get used to, since it's the opposite nowadays. Yeah, boy, the controls definitely takes some getting used to. It is definitely not intuitive for a modern player. Oh, that's right. That would have been one of the objectives, is to steal the data here, which you would not want to shoot the you would not want to shoot the mainframes under normal conditions. Thankfully, that I don't have to worry about that in this particular difficulty. I don't think so. Yeah, let's change that one. Oh, we have 16.9. I didn't realize that. That's interesting. Oh, that's right. We had to budgie jump off this, didn't we? Yeah, I mean, it still is, you know, kind of a low-res, blurry mess, but you know, very much cleaned up from the original. I mean, the original is actually very, very difficult to look at nowadays, you know, because it's so, you know, it's so blurry and the resolution's so low. But this, not bad. Oh, we didn't neutralize all the alarms. I forgot to look off for all the little red buttons. possible. The glass can shatter and break. Again, we don't really think of it that being that big of a deal nowadays, but at the time of this release, having something be fully 3D, built all with polygons, and have the glass be interactive like that, I mean, it wasn't just very few products actually did that. A lot of first-person games were still made with with the old id Tech 1 and the build engine. So that was kind of this era of gaming. Okay, just kind of getting used to the controls now. Just take a little while. Not super ideal, but they do get the job done. And the pacing of the game isn't like you're playing Quake or Call of Duty or something. So you don't necessarily have to react super quick to stuff. The enemies are significantly slower. And the overall shooting and the pace is definitely less. Less intense. Oh, somebody's here. I was like, why can't I go down the ladder? That's because somebody was sitting right in front of somebody. That's funny. Okay, destroy the alarms. As soon as I'm not getting shot at. Yeah, I can't remember if I needed to do that someplace else or not. I mean, it's not part of our required objectives, at least not at this difficulty. Yeah, I do wonder how new audiences to this game will feel about it. And people who aren't used to, blurry N64 gameplay. You know, if they find these graphics, intolerable, or if it's okay for them. I mean, when I look at this, I think it looks really good. But I'm just used to playing it on an old CRT, and it's absolutely terrible frame rates. But to me, this is it's a hell of an improvement. And the N64 gaming and graphics, they do not hold up well. I say the same thing for the original PlayStation as well. And I know some people have a fondness for how the old warping textures and the overall chunky look, but I'm not one of them. It's a funny thing, that Rare at one point in time was a pretty competent company at making first-person shooter. I mean, with this and Perfect Dark, I think they did a really good job. And then somewhere along the way, they just lost the ability to make anything good, because then they made Perfect Dark 0, and that was a pretty large failure, I gotta tell you. Let's see, did I get them all? I thought I got them all. I know, there's no check off. Yes, you completed the mission. It was well before those days. Yeah, I didn't neutralize all the alarms. I honestly don't remember where they are. I know, it's terrible of me. Oh well, this is just very, very brief look at what's available. So yeah, definitely check it out if you have the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack. Then you can check out these N64 games. Obviously, there's more than just this that's available. In fact, we haven't really covered what was available on the N64 for quite a while now, but they really haven't been pushing very many games out. So this is the newest release in months. I mean, the last set of games we got were the Mario Party games and Pilot Wings, Wave Race. But yeah, it's been a long time since Nintendo has updated their N64 library, and thankfully, now that they have an update, it's one that's a pretty high quality title, and I think very, very nostalgic for a lot of people. I think it still plays pretty good nowadays, just as long as you understand, it's a very limited scope first-person shooter. If you're expecting something that's close to modern gaming, then yeah, that's not what this is. But you can see where games were the first-person shooter genre was evolving with a title like this. This and Turok, I think, were some of the most standout first-person shooters, along with the original Doom. Just really taking things to another level, and I'd say Duke Nukem 3D as well. Yeah, check it out. If you don't have the Expansion Pack Plus, if you don't have Switch Expansion Pack, then you do have the option of playing this on the Xbox One and up through Game Pass. I don't know if it's available right now. I know it's supposed to be available in the next day or two. And I want to say it's part of Rare Replay, but it might actually be a standalone title. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it's available right now. At least I didn't see it earlier this evening. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed watching, and I will see you at the next stream.